All right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gaboria from the Indiana camp, coming back at you again with another sit down. And I'm gonna entitle this video what a review over the movie Him. All right. What was it? I don't know all who directed and everything, but I know Jordan Peele was one of the producers of it. It's a new movie with one of the Wayans brothers. It came out, and the movie was called Him. All right, and basically, the movie was all right. It wasn't really too bad. I mean, watching it without a spiritual eye, like I said, watching it without a spiritual eye, it was slight confusing. I didn't really get it at certain points, or I felt like certain other points were just left in the dark, you know. And but watching it with a spiritual eye, and actually, after watching it and had time to digest it and really take it in, um, it was definitely some spiritual points that can be talked about in the movie. All right. And Lord willing, we're gonna hit some of those spiritual points in this video. And one of the spiritual points that I seen um that was real heavy into the movie was sacrifice. All right. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I encourage brothers to go watch it first before they watch this video, or you can watch the video if you don't mind about being spoilers and shit like that. You can watch the video, then go watch it whenever you choose to. But one thing in the movie that it heavily dealt with is sacrifice. You see, the main character was getting trained or was getting mentored by basically quote unquote one of the greats. You see, and the guy named Isaiah White, he asked him, what are you willing to sacrifice or what are you willing to lose? And the main character said everything. And that's what he wanted to hear, because he said in order to be one of the greats, in order to be, you know, that guy, that goat, you have to be, you have to sacrifice. It comes with a sacrifice. And all throughout the movie, the guy Isaiah White, he was willing to sacrifice everything. He actually said it. You can see it. His character was like, listen, I'm willing to give up everything for to be the great, to be to be the best one. And Isaiah White was obsessed with the title the GOAT. He was obsessed with it. He always wanted to be the greatest. That's why throughout the movie, he really didn't do anything. He just said, well, I'm gonna go watch one of my clips. And basically when his clips was the fans cheering him on, basically, calling him he's the great, he's the he idolized that position, so but getting back to the point I wanted to make is that in order to find yourself worthy, in order to deem yourself worthy in the eyes of the Lord, you must make a sacrifice. You see, everything that we do, everything that we do in our day-to-day life requires a sacrifice. You see, if you want to make money, guess what? You have to sacrifice your time. In order to get a woman, guess what? You have to sacrifice certain finances. You have to sacrifice certain emotional ties. You have to sacrifice more time. You see, everything that we do in our day-to-day lives has to come with a sacrifice. You see, if you want a nice built strong body, then guess what? You have to sacrifice certain things, certain pleasurable things. You can't just lounge around all day. You can't just keep eating and not working out. You have to put in certain things to get you have to put in certain things to get a certain what am I trying to say? You have to put in something in order to get something back. You see, you're not gonna get that dream body if you're constantly eating potato chips, meat and cheese and bread, and starchy foods all fucking day. Not taking no vitamins, not drinking water. You have to actually put in some. You have to actually put into something in order to get the desired results back. All right. And then on top of that, you have to make sure you're doing a worthy sacrifice as well. You see, you can do the working out, you can do the calisthenics, but guess what? If you're not eating right, if you're, or let's say you are doing those things but trying to do it consistently, then guess what? You're not going to get the type of results you think that you're going to get. You see? Or what if you half-ass, let's say you go on a date with a woman and you half-ass, you half-ass do the date, what, really don't pay attention to her, all the typical stuff, you don't pay attention to her, you know, all the shit that women like, you don't do that or whatever, and you kind of BS around, then it's like I had a call, but that's just I'm gonna use that as a spirit just telling me to hurry up and start going to the scriptures. You're talking too much. So without further ado, I'm gonna hop straight into the scriptures. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. See? So the Lord requires a sacrifice, and what's the sacrifice that we give? Our living bodies. That's why it says we're a living sacrifice. And what is our what is a living sacrifice in the eyes of the Lord? Our time, our effort, our dedication. You see? That's why it's more than just going out here and just calling yourself an Israelite. No, you have to give a sacrifice for this thing. Or even right now, I'm sacrificing my time, things that I could be doing, BSing around, sleeping or watching a movie, whatever I want. I'm taking the time to sacrifice to make an Lord willing, to edifying video for you brothers out there, so y'all can learn, so y'all can be built up, and so y'all can go forth and do the work as well. You see, these are all quite required sacrifices. When a brother calls you and he says he needs you and he's in dire needs and he needs some help, what, you sacrifice your time to help the brother out. That's part of the sacrifice. We live in a polluted and wicked society, but yet we're still trying to uphold the few laws that we can hold, the few statutes, laws, and commandments that we can keep. That's a sacrifice. Everything the Lord is requiring you to sacrifice certain things. So what? So you can gain salvation. So So you have a potential to gain salvation. You see? Because just because you do certain things, and just because you so-called sacrifice your time, doesn't grant you a guaranteed ticket on the chariot, but it does grant you hope, and it does give you a way out, so to speak. You see? So in that movie, it heavily emphasized sacrificing. And the beloved brother Mathathia from the Iowa camp always just say this back in the day. He said, listen, if these athletes, Kobe Bryant, he mainly brought up Kobe Bryant because he said his wife was actually going to divorce him at a certain point because he was too dedicated to the game. Kobe Bryant will go and spend all day in the gym perfecting certain skills and techniques that he could use in games, so he was obsessed with it. You see? Where his wife was finna leave him because he wasn't spending enough time at home because he was too dedicated to the game. All right. So if these athletes out here that can spend, that time just dribbling basketball, just for a game, how much more us for the Lord? How much more dedication, how much more driven are we going to be for the Lord? If this wicked ass nigga can do it for a game, just for a game, how much more us for actually a better cause? You see? And the world has a saying where it says talent beats sacrifice. It's like obsession beats talent every time. It's like I'm mixing my words up. Obsession beats talent every time. You can be blessed with all the talent in the world. Matter of fact, Adam Sandler said this in a movie. He said you can have all the talent in the world. I don't care how much talent you have. You can be blessed with all the talent. You've never picked up a weight in your life, and you can go into the gym and bench 350, 400 pounds, easy. I don't care how much talent you have. Obsession is gonna beat it every time. Because if you're not obsessed with something, if you're not overly driven to do something, obsessed with it, you constantly think about it, you're constantly overindulging in it, then guess what? That's just the same as losing. You see? Because a person with a talent, he think he got it all. That's what pride sets in. I got this. This is easy. But a person who's obsessed with it, he's gonna do that extra mile. He's gonna go that extra length. You see? And there's certain brothers, and you can see that a man who's obsessed with it versus a man who's just going by the motions. And that's why our apostles are always heavy on brothers. Stop going by the motion. Stop being wallflowers. Stop just doing it just because it's something to do. No, you have to be obsessed with this. You know what? Matter of fact, let me grab this right quick. This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 27. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have for thee? What shall we have therefore? See? So Peter said, listen, we have forsaken all, you know? And that's where the guy, what was it? Isaiah White had said, listen, he left his family behind. He left everything. He didn't care about nothing. You see, where the main character, he still had family that he wanted to go back and see and do all that. But Isaiah White, he was literally the embodiment of obsession. You know, he was literally the embodiment of obsessed. You see, he didn't have he had children and this and that, but he was doing it for the love of the game. You see, because he wanted to be the great, because he wanted to be that guy so bad, where he forsaken everything. And that's exactly what type of mindset we have to be in. You see, when it comes to this world, when it comes to the things, you know, that we when it comes to the things that we have, tangible things in this world, we have to look at all that stuff secondary. Yes, I'm talking about your children. Yes, I'm talking about your woman. Yes, I'm talking about your family. Everything that this world puts first, guess what? You have to put that second, because we have a greater job to do. You see, and that's preaching the downfall of this place and uplifting Israel, and that comes first and foremost before anything that we have. You know, before our hobbies, even before your own self. That's how great this thing is. You have to put this truth even above your own self. And what does that mean? The ambitions and the love that you have for certain things. Let's say you're a really good art maker. Let's say you're a really good drawer. You know, you want to become an artist one day. You know, and you draw paintings and this, and people actually buying them, and you can make a real good career out of this, and you think you can be the next fucking Michelangelo or whatever. But guess what? If the Lord calls you into this truth, then guess what? That dream, that dream that you have, that fucking goal, guess what? It comes second. All right, you have to put that on the back burner. You can't dedicate all your time and effort into your main career anymore. You see? Now, am I saying that you just basically just give up on it, or you just get a mediocre job and you just no? If you still have a passion to do that and you can make money on the side, you can make a honest living, or you can make some money until, yeah, go ahead for it, you know. But what I'm saying is, you don't give all your time and effort, because usually people, especially men, people put all their time and effort into their career. You see, whatever career that they have, it's almost like, you know, it's not even a 9 to 5 no more. It's not even a 40-hour week. It's really your whole entire life. You know, that literally becomes your career becomes your whole entire life. You see, you become invested in it. All right. But when the Lord calls you into this truth, this is now your new career. This is what you've been called to. This is what you've been called to do. All right. And you have to look back and you have to forsake everything. You know, matter of fact, let me grab that. Actually, I'm gonna just keep going in this. I'm gonna read verse 29. It says, "And everyone that have forsaken house or brother or sister or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." See, so if you put the Lord first, He's gonna put you first, because the people who's putting the Lord first in this society are the last. All right, we're looked at as the crazies. We're looking at as like, oh, you ain't got nothing going for yourself. You don't have no ambitions. You know, yes, we do. We just don't have it in the same aspect as you do. You have ambitions into this world. You're all into the politics and into your career and into your job and into education. See, we're not into those things, into those type of same things that you are. We're into the scriptures. We're into the word of the Lord, because we understand the end goal is what? The destruction of this place. So we're uplifting Israel and the downfall of this place. Y'all are basically, in a sense, looking for the betterment of this place. We are not the same. That's why when we see, fucking debaters going left and right, gay, straight, pro life, pro choice, we look at it like okay, but y'all still are y'all are still being bet. Now, do we agree with certain things on? Yes, we agree with the pro life. The not killing of an infant. We agree with the straight and disagree with the LGBT. Yes, a man's supposed to be with a woman and a woman's supposed to be with a man, and there's no in between. You see? Yes, we agree with certain things that these people are saying, but at the end of the day, we still have to take a step back and look like they're they're both for the betterment of this world. So guess what? Ultimately, we're against all of them. You see? Whether you're on this side or whether you're right hand side or you're on the left hand side, we are against the whole entire system itself. You see? Where those two those opposing forces, they're showing their viewpoints, but they're still for this world. You see? They're still for this place. We are not of this. We are not for this place. We are we are literally the third wheel. We are literally the outside looking in. Like, to hell with everything. All right? Just imagine you go to Walmart and half the store is arguing about how the prices are too high, and the other half is arguing about how the prices are too low, and they're just going back and forth. And then you have us like, man, listen, fuck the whole entire store in general. You know? That's what type of mindset we are in, man. And with that type of mindset, we have to certain sacrifices that come with that. All right? And we are willing, and that brings you up the question. That's why it's the description, my friend. Let me grab it. Luke chapter 14, verse 28, it says, for which of you intending to build a tower, sit not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. See? So when you come into this truth, man, and I'm equating this, a brother is now coming to the truth, then what? You have to actually sit down and think like, man, am I going to have enough time, energy, and dedication to finish this course, to finish this race? You see? You got to be determined. This isn't just, this isn't for this isn't a race that you get in and you sprint all the way through and then you finish with it and you cool. No, this is a marathon. You have to pace yourself. All right. You have to go with a stride. There's certain how can I say, there's certain tactics that you use in running. You don't sprint, give it a show all the way through. Because what, you're gonna eventually tire yourself out and you're gonna stop. All right. So to boil it back down to the point where I was getting at, hold on, Slack, I gotta wipe off my phone screen. All right. To get back to the point I was getting at, you have to actually sit down. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Because listen, a lot of people saying, listen, I'll make the sacrifice. I'll cut off all my family. I'll cut off all this. And then they'll look back and then they'll be like, you know what? I was tripping. No, I'm going back. Now you're more worse. Now you're more worse off than you should never ever started. That's why it says what? And continue and count up the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. See, if you come into this truth, man, listen, now the Lord is going to require you to finish it. But if you don't, then guess what? Now they're going to start what? Least happily, after he had laid up the foundation, it is not able to finish it. All that behold it began to mock him. Now you're a laughing stock. Now you're a guy who yeah, remember that one guy? Yeah, man, his ass was weak. You know? Hey, the beloved El Ayash of our camp, he used to always say, he said, listen, some people who run in races and marathons, they don't even expect to get first place or second place or even top 100. They just want the the rights to say I finished the race. You see, because that in itself is a goal. You're able to say, oh yeah, I ran the cross country this, from this and that. It's all, what place did you get? It's like, oh, I can't remember what place I got, but I finished it. You know how many people say they can't? You know how many people can't even say that? They can't even say, oh, I finished that race though. Which that is an honor of itself. It doesn't matter if you got first place or 100th place, as long as you're able to say, listen, I finished it. You see, and that's what type of race we are in. We don't care about who hit the finish line first. The Lord is requiring you to finish the race. All right. Trying to think what else. Of course, the movie hits heavily on the symbolism. You see all types of triangles and Illuminati symbols all around. Which it is what it is. That's in everything, but it was real heavy in that. It also shows the wicked elites, and how they groom certain athletes at a young age. It shows a lot. It's almost like a Eyes Wide Shut. Open, is it Eyes Wide Open? Open. It's a Tom Cruise movie. I think it's Eyes Wide Shut. Type in Tom Cruise and type in Eyes Wide Shut, and then it should pop in. But anyways, it's like one of those movies, wicked society, boule, ritual type. That's heavy in the movie, and it just shows you the left hand side of Esau of all the ritual that he has about these athletes and the ceremonies that they and the demons that they worship. All right, but those are things we already know. That's not really hitting anything too spiritual, But the one thing I took from this movie the most is making a sacrifice and equating it to the truth. All right, the sacrifice that guy made in the movie because he wanted to be the greatest, because he wanted to be the top guy, he wanted to be the GOAT, and he was doing it for the love of the game. That's the type of same sacrifice we're supposed to make for the honor and glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. So if you take anything from this video, take that this thing of ours requires a sacrifice. All right. So that's all I had. Lord will have this video is edifying. So until next time, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Until next time, keep pushing, stay strong. Until next time, shalom.